So using the formula to find the midpoint of these two, we would simply add the x coordinates together, divide by 2, add the y coordinates together and divide by 2. That's simply one way to do it. If you don't like the formula and you want a mental math kind of way to do it, I have one for you. It's basically the same exact thing. You could think to yourself, on the x's, how far is it from 4 to 7? 3. So then how far is it halfway? 1.5. So you just add 1.5 to the 4. So you could do that mentally. Either way, you're going to end up with, for this one, 5.5, 5.5. Because 4 plus 7 is divided by 2, and 2 plus 9 divided by 2. The one mistake that children make with, if they're using the distance formula or this formula, is instead of doing 4 plus 7, they do 4 plus 2. You adding the x and the y instead of adding 2 x's. Okay, so be careful. All right, you try this one. Find the midpoint of those two coordinates. Answer. Using the formula, -3.5 and 2. All right, see if you can figure out what point C is. This one's different. The answer is not 2, -4. First question I have is, how did we get x coordinate wise from A to B? What did we do?
You took 1 plus something divided it by 2?
No. Yes, I did. Yes, you're right. That's not what I'm talking about, but you're exactly right. What I did was I added 2. To get from A to B, I added 2. So all I'm going to do to get to C is I'm going to add 2 again. I'm just going to repeat the behavior. Because if it's in the dead middle, I should be able to do the same thing again and repeat it. And then for the y coordinate, to get from A to B, I subtracted 8. So if I subtract 8 again, I should be able to come up with the y coordinate 5, -16. There are algebraic ways to do it. That's kind of what Gritch was talking about. He was saying 1 plus something divided by 2 is 3. He was kind of doing the midpoint formula in his head, and he's exactly right. 1 plus 5 is 6. Divided by 2 will get you 3. That's a good way to think about it. Okay? So the answer is 5, -16. I just repeated the behavior from A to B over to B to C. Okay?